Welcome to the Inspiration Station hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Hey, it's Joshua Lenox, the Inspiration Station, and y'all already know over here we upsize in 2025 all day, every day. And I know y'all have been saying it, you've been affirming it, you've been validating yourself with that, and you've been confirming that. And I pray that your life has been showing you how your life has been upsizing all this year. And y'all, we're in July. Today's July the 18th. Can you believe it? I just can't believe it. And again, I know y'all know I gotta say it, but time is moving quickly. And I think that's why it's important for us to make sure we are truly maximizing our time as much as possible. I know you're working hard, you're doing all the things that you can, you're doing your absolute best, but you know that you're going to do better. You're improving in a lot of ways, you're being challenged in new different ways, you're being stretched in ways, your faith is being stretched in many ways. I don't know about y'all, but mine sure is. But you are upsizing, everything is getting greater, everything is getting bigger, not just based on what you see, but what you actually know, and actually that you know that it's still coming as we have these remaining months in this year. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about you all as always. Thank you all for tuning in. And again, let me say this to all the people. If this is your first time, I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. You're no longer a visitor. Y'all, that sounds like I'm in church, doesn't it? You know, they say when you come, it's like you're no longer a visitor. You're now family. So, but I will say, I want to thank all of you who continue to watch the Inspiration Station and you are sharing. Y'all, you know what? YouTube, I don't know if YouTube is in a race with any other platform I have, but I think those people out there in YouTube land are definitely watching and tuning in and sharing, and I greatly appreciate it. I'm seeing the Inspiration Station every Friday, and as the weeks go by, it's hitting 1,000 plus viewers. So to God be the glory. I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for all of you all tuning in and continue to share and watch. Hope you're learning something. Maybe y'all are learning some stuff. Maybe you're getting something because we keep going higher and higher. But as I said, we upsize in 2025, and it doesn't have to take all day. Just get started. I ain't even trying to start into something yet, but that's not the subject of the day. But just get started on whatever that thing is because you don't know how it's going to take off. But I want to say hello to all of you out there on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live, and to my amazing listeners who will be hearing this also later on Apple, Audible, Amazon, what else, y'all? Spotify. I think that covers everybody. See, I'm starting to just have to think about all the places that we're putting this out in. I'm thankful for that because I believe there's much more to come that might not even be in this format, might be on television. You just never know. You just never know. But just keep your eyes open and your ears open and clean. All right. But I hope that you all have had an amazing week. I hope today has been amazing as well as we've reached Friday. Some of y'all are probably like, thank God it's Friday. I already know. I hear you. I hear you. But as we kind of move forward, I just want to jump in really quick and just say, if this is your first time, you're going to learn what is the Inspiration Station? What in the world is that? The Inspiration Station, again, comes from a nickname I was given in 2012, where a person told me they felt like I was like a radio station and that I sent out frequencies that people needed to hear. And it's like I knew exactly what people needed to hear. Didn't think much about it, thought it was very catchy, but here we are, fast forward in 2025, and here we have the Inspiration Station. But the Inspiration Station is not just about Joshua Lennox, not at all. It's about you. You are an inspiration to anyone and everyone you've come into contact with, whether you believe it or not. But you're going to believe it. Say, I believe that I am an inspiration to anyone I come into contact with, and we're not going to say anything less than that. Also, you're an inspiration to yourself. Your life speaks well of things that you have overcome. Your life merits inspiration, motivation, and encouragement for yourself. You can look back just last week, last month, the last decade, and you can pull several different places in your life, pull from several different places in your life to remind you to keep moving forward and how you're an overcomer. You're more than a conqueror and even more than an overcomer because you've done it. And that means you can do it again. No matter how high this mountain might be that you have right now in your life, no matter how big the obstacle might seem at this very moment, but you are able to overcome it and you're able to conquer it. Amen, somebody. All right, I wasn't trying to, preach. But anyway, also, what do we expect here on the Inspiration Station? This is a part of us learning how to be open, honest, and vulnerable, not just with other people, but also with ourselves. That can be the hardest thing because, the relationship that often gets neglected at times or abandoned or even rejected is the relationship you have with yourself. So being open, honest, and vulnerable with yourself is also a great a moment of growth and also to stretch that muscle and strengthen it so that it doesn't become like you're playing hide and go seek with yourself. Okay. Also, this is where we'll have definite guests. Have y'all enjoyed the people that we've had on here so far that I've interviewed? I mean, it's only more and more to come, but y'all, the people are booked and busy, and I'm all right with that. But we have a great lineup of people that will be coming on here soon. From anybody you can imagine, people who you've seen from a distance, you admire from a distance, people you've never met before. But again, as I always say, everybody is a superstar, especially to me. Everybody has great importance, no matter how high the level or status or any of whatever background you come from. You are a superstar. Also, this is a place where we learn much more about. It's something I've never really said much about, but this is where we kind of learn where there are pieces of you that maybe need to be activated. Activated as far as getting you to move towards movement, not to just be inspired by the words you're hearing and the stories you're hearing, but also it causes you to leave each time on every Friday at what time, y'all? 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to go towards doing something. Like you're not going to leave here and just feel like, oh, that felt good. I feel lighter. I feel better about my life. No, you're going to say, I got to go do something. I got to go do something now, even if it's something small. A small step is a big step. I always say that a small step is a big step because sometimes you're waiting to take these huge leaps to feel like you've accomplished something, and it really starts with it could be a baby step. So now we're going to jump into this. I'm not going to be long before you. And I say that sometimes and I continue to go, but I'm going to really think I'm going to stay strictly to that. I'm not going to hold you long. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your weekend, but take this nugget with you and run with it and do something with it until we meet next week, next Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But tonight, I just want to talk really quick, y'all, just on out with the old, in with what's due. Out with the old, in with what's due. Now, I know some of y'all are probably like, no, 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 Josh, I think you mean out with the old, in with the new. No, I said what I said. Out with the old and in with what's due. When we think about due dates, we know that's a deadline or something we have to accomplish by a certain point or something that's coming to us at a certain point. And it was sometimes what keeps us from getting what's due into our lives, what's waiting on us, something we're waiting to arrive is that we may have some things that are standing in the place of that are old, that we need to get rid of, things we need to discard, whether that's our thoughts, whether that's people in our lives, whether that's our emotions, our feelings, our location. So we're gonna go really quick into that, but I'm pretty sure you all are already thinking in your mind like, oh yeah, he coming down my road. I know there's some things that are old in my life that I need to get rid of so that I can get what's due me. So really quick story is I know usually anytime I'm about to move somewhere, and a lot of times it's been out of state from a child up until even a grown man. There's always a decluttering. I start to get rid of stuff and don't even realize that's what I'm doing. I start to, um, break things down, take a look and see what do I need? Do I need this anymore? No. Okay, I want to hold on. I don't know about some of y'all. Some things I'm just like, well, I might need this, or, oh, this is a memory, or this bring back memories. But sometimes I've gotten into a place of like, no, is it going to be necessary? Am I going to need it right now? Is it going to help me in any kind of way? Okay, I'm getting rid of it. So, I think about every time that happens, and a lot of times when God is orchestrating me to move or relocate, that naturally happens. And I noticed something too because it also seems like it speeds up the process because I'm getting rid of things that I don't need to take with me where I'm going. And because of that, when I get finished, it's almost like, okay, now you're ready to move forward. So what could be due me in those times? What's due to me is that maybe now that opens the door for me to move, like completely move, or get things start to flow in order. I got all my plans together now. Since I don't have to carry all of this extra stuff with me, now I kind of know what I'm taking with me. So just kind of thinking about it in that aspect, because also when we're thinking about out with the old, what kind of, I just want some of y'all to think about it, but what kind of thoughts, beliefs, or actions that you're still doing or that are old ways of doing, old ways of thinking, old ways of believing, old ways of acting, what's keeping, maybe blocking you from getting what's due to you? Maybe you are a person who desires marriage again after you had a divorce, or you desire marriage after, or a relationship, romantic relationship, or great friendships, but you have this way of thinking that I'm gonna get hurt again. I can't trust anybody. I'm self-sabotaging. Maybe I'm not worth having great people in my life. There's nobody out there that I could connect with or anything of that nature. Could that be keeping you hindered from what could be due to you? Maybe you've always wanted the very things that you're asking about, even praying about, in some of the things I just mentioned, or anything, y'all. Just I want you to think about anything that you're wanting or desiring or praying for, requesting to God, and you're like, I want it so bad, and God is like, I want to give it to you, but you got some things in the way. You got some things in the way that you're not getting rid of. Maybe even we talk about the whole relationship thing. Maybe you still are holding on to the bitterness or the pain of the relationship, and you haven't really stopped to sit down and heal, or to really think about, when you step back from everything, you don't add or subtract anything and look at what happened. Can I really now break this down and really see my part in things, their part in things, but then how do I move forward from this so that I'm not stuck in this place? So it keeps me from getting what's due. Because what if God's wanting to send you something, somebody, or somebody, or a friend, a romantic partner, or even a husband or a wife or whatever? What if He's wanting to send that to you, but you stuck because of this? You can't get past this old pain, these old ways of thinking, these old beliefs about yourself. Maybe you're thinking and again, not even going past the relationship thing. What if you want to start your own business and you think that you're not good enough or you're not qualified? Well, where are those things coming from? Well, when I tried to do this before, people told me I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough money. I didn't have enough skill set, and I just felt like maybe that wasn't for me. And God is like, well, shoot, I could give it to you, but you're gonna have to get out of that thinking you're not good enough, or that it's not for you. Because if you have that belief system, that's exactly what's going to happen. I always say sometimes, whatever, if you say that you can, you will. If you say that you can't, you won't. Either way, you're right. Um, Maybe you are wanting to relocate and move somewhere, but you're thinking, oh, but I don't know nobody there, and I don't like new beginnings, or I don't like change. Well, if that's the case, those same thoughts that you're having are going to stifle you and keep you stuck. And then you're gonna have a level. I guess this will take you to a place where you're gonna regret, because that old way of thinking or those old feelings that you're having are keeping you from getting what's due to you. What would it look like if you were to go? Someone sent a, let's see, what's the edible arrangement? Somebody sent you an edible arrangement, and you got the notification, and they're saying, you have Mr. or Mrs. whatever, you have this arrangement waiting for you at the store to pick up anytime you're ready, and you're like, okay, but then you keep procrastinating because you're thinking about all the other things in your life or whatever. You don't have any prioritization. You're not organizing things, and you're like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it, and nothing is putting the fire under your feet to really go get something. That's for you. That's specifically for you, because you're letting things get in the way. And I hope you're getting the principle of what I'm saying. I don't know if that's really the best example, but I have something waiting on me that's been sent for me, something for my good too, but I'm dragging my feet on it because I'm thinking about all the other things that I need to take care of, and I'm not taking a moment for myself to think, hey, somebody just did something special for me. And maybe it's because I think I'm not worthy of good things, or why would somebody do something so good for me, to actually just stop for a moment and say, you know what, let me go pick up this edible arrangement. And then also let the person know, whoever sent it to me, that I'm appreciative of it, because you're so scattered in your way of doing things, of just always being all over the place. So it's keeping you, it's almost like a distraction. You're used to being distracted, and it's keeping you from getting something that's really good to you. So again, think about all those things in your life that might be keeping you distracted. Is it that you're, again, I always think it's sometimes with prioritizing things or organizing things, it's like, am I out of order in my life? Are things in disorder? Am I not putting myself first? A lot of times when we're not having a practice of self-care, just as the example I gave you, you're not even thinking, oh, that's something for me. I should go run and get it. Well, I mean, I'm gonna get around to it. And it's like, what would keep you from going to get, oh, I got work to do. I got stuff to do in the house. I'm gonna get to it though. I got to see when they close. And then that day, the next day comes and you still just doing the same thing. But it's something that is special for you. I think about when you think about anything physically, emotionally, relationally, or even materialistic, are there some things in your life that you know you're waiting on? You've been waiting on and you want, but what's in the way? What stumbling blocks are you having to deal with? Is it distractions? Is it procrastination? Is it perfectionism? Is it negative core beliefs? Are you thinking you're not good enough, that you're unlovable, that you're unwanted, that you're unheard, you're unseen, you're overlooked? Um, I want to also pose this to say, just really, I always say this to some of my clients, is that we need to really work on making sure we have no shrinking thinking. No shrinking thinking. Are my thoughts too small about what I want to come into my life? Have I not expanded things? If you remember just what I talked about last week about deliveries, like you're waiting on certain things. Like again, I use a package for an example. It's like, are you making room for those things that you want? And in order to make room for those things, maybe it's time for you to get rid of some things so that you can have the room. I will say, I remember having a dream once where I saw pictures falling of people in my life. And I woke up like, God, what in the world is this? Like, wait a minute, these are people I've known for years in my life. Why are they falling? Their pictures are falling off the wall. And he had to let me know these are people you have who have served their time. Makes it sound like jail, but served their time in your life for the time that they were needed. But they've got to go. Because I got to make room for healthier relationships. I got to make room for people who are really going to reciprocate to you. I got to make room for people who are going to love like you love. They're going to give like you give. They're going to be considerate like you are. They're going to be thoughtful. They're going to be mindful. And I was like, God, but I think that these are good people. He like they are, but they're no longer going to be in your life. And as he started to move people out of my life, he did bring people into my life that the types of people I always wanted, that I was, praying for. And it's like he had to do the removing for me, but I could have actually been a person to still stay in connection with those people. And that would have been my old way of thinking that everybody's, great. No, I'm only going to look at all the good stuff and the healthy stuff. And it's like, you're not looking at the red flags. You're not looking at how the people are only they're taking advantage of you. You're not looking at how the people are only calling on you when they want something. They might not have your best interest at heart. You don't hear from them when you say no, things of that nature. So it's like, I'm glad that I listened and I was obedient, because when I did that and those people were removed from my life, it made room for people to come in. And you know what? It was people that I always wanted. And it kind of scared me because I was like, wait a minute, they don't want nothing from me. They try to just do for me and be there for me. And I'm like, okay, what's the catch? What you want? Like, what's the motive? So just using that as an example of having to get out of the old way of thinking, out with the old friendships, old thoughts, old things, old, I said people, right, y'all? Old pain. What kind of things are you still holding on that are as prohibiting you from getting the things that God's trying to get to you? What things are you holding on to that's prohibiting you from getting what God is trying to get to you? So, no shrinking thinking in anything. You deserve to have better than you've ever had before. But the only thing that's standing in the way is you and the old things that are, it's almost like, you remember when I talked about residue? Those types of things that are still there that are just you almost stuck to you like Velcro. And it's like, I got to get rid of this stuff. And you know what? When you seem like when you get rid of old things, you feel lighter, you feel better. Even when you talk about your physical weight, even when you talk about your physical weight, you maybe have been overweight for a long period of time, and then you make that conscious decision to say, I'm going to stick to a plan. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work out right. I'm going to rest right, drink my water, moisturize, and mind my business. I'm going to do all of these things because what could be due me? Maybe what's due me is to be having the best health of my life or being in the best physical shape ever in my life. So I have to get rid of this old physical weight. Also, I just want everybody in this. This is what I'm saying. It's kind of simplistic, but I don't make it so complex. But what are some old things in your life that you know got to go? And I'm not talking about trying to recycle it either, but the old things that need to go in order for you to get what's due to you. Some of y'all have probably thought in your mind, I should be further than I am right now. Maybe, maybe not. But if you were, what are some things that you've been holding on to? Maybe it's fear, some old fears of yours. Well, that didn't work last time, so I don't think this gonna work either. That is it's not really you won't know unless you try. So if you're still holding on to what happened prior, you can't get to what's actually could be the very thing that you've always wanted. So, y'all, I told you I was gonna be quick. I'm just gonna kind of be plain and simplistic today. But again, think about some of the thoughts and beliefs and actions that you still take that are old habits that you have that you just like, I'm going in a circle with this stuff and it's not really, nothing's really changing. I'm staying in the same place. And could it be because I need to lay aside, the word says, lay aside every weight and sin that so easily besets you? Should it be some things that I need to lay aside so that I can finally welcome what is due me? The word says also, I think in Galatians, it says that you shall reap a harvest of blessing if you faint not. So we grow weary not in well doing, but we shall reap a harvest of blessing if we faint not. What are you supposed to be reaping? It's due season in your life. So what are you supposed to be reaping that you're missing out on because of old things? So I love y'all, and I told y'all I was gonna be short. But again, we just know. I want you to look at the old thoughts, beliefs, actions that could being a stumbling block for you and keeping you stagnant. Also, anything that's anything physical, emotional, relational, and even materialistic that you might need to let go of in order to welcome in your new that's due. I like that. Let go of those old things to welcome in your new that's due. And we don't shrink think. We're not no shrinking thinking. You don't need to think small, think bigger. We upsize in 2025, right? All right, y'all, I love you. I hope that you all have an amazing rest of this Friday. Make sure you spread as much love as possible because we need unity more now than ever. I will see y'all next Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time right here. I hope that again, you all are recognizing how fast time is going and how we need to maximize it and how important that is to be doing everything and anything we're supposed to be doing and that we were put here on earth to do. And guess what? If you have a dream or a vision that God has given you, you have the capacity to fulfill it. Just get started. Or if you've already started, keep going, keep pushing, and keep thinking higher. Talk to y'all later. Love you much. Bye.
Thanks for watching The Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.